Hello, everyone. It is me with the Samuel Brock Flynn Show. It's Samuel here. Um, anyways, I was gonna talk about about some things that I feel like should be brought up. Unfortunately, there has been people that have decided to attack me online, Facebook, um, and tweak out on me. I'm sorry that you're tweaking out on me, but I also am a man that's trying to be successful in life and someone that's went to college, studied hours day and night. I'm talking about from probably all the way till 6 or 7 o'clock at night, all the way to 3 to 4, maybe even 5 in the morning, as I best remember, doing college studies. So, I studied my rear end off to get to where I am now and being educated in what I know. So, like, some of the things I do know is marketing. Some of the things I do know is just photography and some video stuff. I've been trying to, get well rounded in a little bit more in photography. I started out as just a natural photographer, so that's the only thing I started out as, and I did it as a hobby. Okay, I had an injury in 2016 that really made me uh, do photography as a hobby because it's the only thing I could do at the time. So, and that is why I'm talking about it now. That it actually was for the better good because I actually ended up being pretty darn good at doing photography edits and photo edits and photoshopping. See, later on, I didn't really know much about photoshopping. I know about filters and stuff, but I didn't know anything about really necessarily like taking things out, cropping, snipping, taking backgrounds and changing them, things like that. I didn't really know how to do all that. And add some tone to people's color or on the thing. I didn't even know how to do any of that uh, a long time ago, but now I do. And so it's it's an interesting process when you go, and learn it yourself. So I want you guys to know out there, I had nothing like that in my computers at home until probably about 2019, I want to say 2018, 2019. There were other open software programs I was using, but they're nowhere near as the level as the program I have on my computer. So, anyways, I wanted to let you guys know I'm still doing it and I'm doing well. Also, um, for those that are jealous, I'm sorry, but you need to really think about what you're doing and think about maybe if you want to, instead of being jealous, there's a thing called college and there's a thing called study your rear end off to get from, you know, from being jealous and, oh, I can't do this to being, oh, I can do this. You can do this if you pursue, study, you know, study, pass those tests, move forward into graduation, and then there you go, and then go start looking for jobs. I mean, just do that. I mean, it's not that hard to get that, through your head. I mean, if you can apply yourself to study into something, and if you're wanting to get into the same line of work as I'm doing, I say study, you know, and instead of being jealous, pursue it, pursue whatever your dream or goals are. Don't be out here jealous and mad at the world. I mean, come on. That doesn't really help matters. It don't really do anything but just make you, create anger inside of you. And I'm just being honest with you. If you have that inside of you, you probably need to go to church and get some help from the man upstairs, because that's not good. So, but anyways, that's actually why I'm going to church. Is I had some people attack me on my personal phone number, sending me texts really early in the morning, being weird. Uh, we're talking about, 4 or 5 a.m. We're talking about, I've had people have fake accounts that go in and spy on my TikTok page and Facebook page. I've had all sorts of stuff, happen to me. So I've had people that were so jealous that they seen that I was helping at an event locally here, and they called the people up, acting like my clientele, and canceled my clientele's event. I had that to happen, and I had nothing to do with it. But some of my enemy people that are out there that are upset with me for whatever reason have went out there and decided to start sabotaging, literally, uh, what I'm doing, like photography work, or, and you can't, I mean, gosh, I never thought I was that hated. But, anyways, if you have that kind of anger, that's the kind of anger I'm talking about. If you go and have to feel like you got to sabotage somebody's work or job or business, I'm sorry, but you need some help. You need to call your mental health crisis line. If you think you've got, if you've got issues like that, that's some serious issues that need to be taken care of by a professional counselor or psychologist or psychiatrist. One of those would help you the best. That is my suggestion. um the other thing is, it's sad that we live in a world like that today. It is. I mean, I never dreamed that there'd be people this upset with me running a podcast, doing photography, you name it. I mean, I would never dream that. So, I feel like this, I mean, but at the same time, there are haters that's gonna hate, but I would never dream that they would go as far as like sabotaging and, uh, you know, playing keyboard warriors, on the keyboard. um, I'm sorry, it's just that's the way I feel about it, is keyboard warrior work, so um anyhow, I'm doing okay with everything overall. I wish people would just go out there, read their Bible, and things. I've been recently looking for a church, because as I feel that we are living in a time that's of trouble, and I feel like there is deceit going on amongst the churches and amongst different people, so that's kind of why I stepped away from the churches, is because of that. And what I don't like is people shouldn't use the church for money. We should use church for what it's really used for, is bringing people to God, not, oh, well, we beat them out of another one today. We got $700 today. We beat them out of another one. Man, I'm glad we faked this thing all the way through today, and deceive these people, and man, we made $700. I'm glad. We don't need to be a church like that. Shame on you if you're a church like that. You know, you do not want to be a church come off like that. I'm sorry, but those churches need to be really exposed and done and over with, because you know when you see that there's people doing it for the money, using God for the money, and not actually for the purpose of actually church and believing, and actually um, having commitment and prayer with God. There's two different things here going on. The real believers and then the sheep's and wolves clothing. Okay. We have got to watch out as times got rough and harder to deal with. We have got to watch out for wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what I had to deal with years ago, actually by a counselor that says she believes in God, but I just didn't feel like she was wanting to really talk about God on anything because she wanted to change the subject quickly. So so watch out for counselors that's out there like that. So if you're having a counselor that's just seems out of place and just seems like they're not, you can do two things. Either avoid seeing them and talk to them and go to a different counselor that's more Christ-minded, Christ-like, and more minded like that, or you could bring them to Christ and talk to God about to them. That's two things that can happen there. And so, I'm not saying shoo them away, but now if they reject you trying to turn them into a believer in Christ, don't force them. Just take the other option and just say, I'll move on and go to somebody else. Thank you for your time. You know, that's all you have to say to these people. And I dealt with somebody that was like that, unfortunately, and she was she was a lady that was hard to really get to when you're trying to make a connection and try to create an understanding between people. She was just hard, really hard to understand um, what I was saying, and it just felt like nobody was listening at the time. So if you have a counselor and you feel like you're talking to a brick wall and you don't feel like they're help, I'd just go to somebody else. And that is my advice there on that. So, and go to somebody that's actually going to listen to you. And also, if you have a counselor that's trying to tell you that it's your fault for this, I'm just sorry, but I mean, you know, I've I'm seeing a lot of crazy stuff go on like that as of today, right now, where you're getting blamed for this. I mean, come on, people. You're gonna blame everything and say, hey, why not talk to the guy and at least try to figure out what's wrong with the issue or instead of pushing blame here to say you're the problem. Yeah, we already had people try to, you know, do that kind of stuff, and it's just created division in this country. I'm telling you right now. I pray for the world leaders and the leaders of this country, and it feels like there's a lot of division going on between people because it's people are being told that they're hated for this, they're hated for that, and they should be ashamed of themselves on um, this matter or that matter, or um, the things of that nature. Um, you know, or you should be ashamed of who you voted for, and it's just created all sorts of things. Or you should be ashamed that you're a Christian and all that. I mean, yeah, you should be ashamed if you're a Christian and you're promoting like violence against a leader or promoting stuff uh, that's not within the range of a peaceful God. Because our God, I read the King James version. The God that's in that book of King James version is a peaceful God, not one that incites violence. Um, and carry out miscarriages of justice and all that stuff. The God that I'm talking about is a peaceful one, and he is, somebody that is a good God, but I think we should follow under those steps, and be peaceful people and not be, inciting violence and all that nonsense, so. But I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about what way I feel about things, and yes, stuff in political world, as we know, has created great division in this country. Um, and I know there's movies being made about it, and but the movies, at least they project a positive message, and a message that needs to be exposed out there to the public. That's one thing, and that's kind of why, um you know I like, those type of movies. So, and anyways, um yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, if there's anything I can do, I can help, certainly help pray with you and things of that nature. Um, as of right now, I've tried to working back on getting friends back in my life. Right now, my friends list is probably about this small, unfortunately, but it's because of the division of this country, and a lot of different things. Also, jealousy, of course, is a big one that people have decided to say, "Nope, I ain't gonna be friends with you. Bye." You know. Anyways, I wanted to say that's kind of ridiculous and superfluous stuff that people are doing. Um, it's just, you should be really happy about somebody that you went to school with being successful and trying to make it in life, and but to tear them down and make them look like a horrible, really bad person, it's just, it's just gossip, and that's also run along the lines of, you know not very truthful information, and just, hate, pure hatred. And I had to say, when you have pure hatred in your heart, how can you be a Christian and have that? It's not, it don't work both sides of the fence. You can't be for the devil and be for God. You can't. You have to choose one and pick it and stay with it. If you're going to be for the devil, fine then. If you're going to be for God, fine then. That's good. You know. But I wanted to let you guys know that you can't really play both sides here. It just, it's, I would rather you not be an evil person, but, we're living in evil times. So, that's probably expected in evil times. So, is to deal with the evil of this world. So, but it also says that the evil world would persecute Christians, and bash them, and just, it does say that. So the Bible I'm referring to, so I mean, I get it. I don't get depressed because of anything like that. I usually read that Bible and say, "Oh, okay, this is what's happening." So, and I'll say, it is, and not only that, I've been around so much drama, I'm just tired of it. And I have so much personal things going on, personal family things of drama. I don't need other people adding to the situation. So I would much appreciate it if you guys would not do that, and whatnot. So, because I'm certainly, as people know, I'm barely even on my podcast sometimes. I'm barely doing this or that, and I'm more of like a private person now. It just seems like, and people, what I'm saying is, being a private person sometimes is a good thing, because it does not give the people ammunition to say anything. So, you know that's always a good plus there. So don't give them any ammunition. They can't say anything. So therefore they're just going to be pissed off Nancy's out there. So, anyways, guys, you take care out there. I do appreciate you coming onto my podcast. Um, anyhow, go check out some of my interview and commentators with Aidan Goblet and Donald James Parker and Mr. Wayne on my podcast. I've had them on my podcast a couple weeks ago, so go check it out. And I greatly appreciate you guys out there. And just keep in the word and take care.
Check out Samuel Brock Flynn Show on Spotify, iHeart and Samuel Flynn Photography page today. Check out the podcast on Spotify and iHeart today. Check out Samuel Brock Flynn Show on Spotify, iHeart and Samuel Flynn Photography page today. Check out the podcast on Spotify and iHeart today. Check out Samuel Brock Flynn Show on Spotify, iHeart and Samuel Flynn Photography page today.